Welcome to Smack This, the unofficial Godsmack podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things Godsmack. This is episode 34 this week, Rockin' the Core. This week in Godsmack news, on Monday, the band announced that they're hitting the road in May, right after they do the South American tour in April. Um, some of these shows that they listed are part of the festival shows that I've talked in past weeks, Godsmack News. Some of these shows are just Godsmack with opening act, I Prevail. Here are the dates for these shows, in case you missed it. May the 4th, Denver, Colorado. May the 5th, May the 6th, Phoenix, Arizona. May the 7th, Albuquerque, New Mexico. May the 9th, Roger, Arkansas. May the 10th, Boner Springs, Kansas. May the 12th, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. May the 13th, The Woodlands in Texas. Uh, May 14th, Dallas, Texas. May 17th, Birmingham, Alabama. May 18th, Atlanta, Georgia. May the 20th, Daytona Beach, Florida. May 21st is Charlotte, North Carolina. This show right here, I'm actually going to try and go see. It's on a Tuesday, so I'm going to try and work it out with work to be off that day and the day after. Uh, Franklin, Tennessee on May the 23rd. May the 25th, Columbus, Ohio. May 26th, Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And then the May part of the tour, May 28th in Unicasville, Connecticut. Check out Godsmack.com for more info. Like I said, some of these shows are part of the festival, shows that they've already lined up. Some of these shows are just Godsmack with opening act I Prevail. So, yeah, check them out. Actually, the pre sale tickets went on sale, I think, yesterday. And the tickets go on sale to the public tomorrow, Friday. So make sure you get your tickets. On Tuesday, Valentine's Day, they asked us, the fans on social media, for non Valentine's Day songs by Godsmack. What would it be? What would you choose? I chose something different off 1,000 Horsepower, Get Up, Get Out off the first album, Crying Like a Beep off the Oracle, and I Effing Hate You off the Faceless record. So if you guys commented and took part of that, write me a comment. Tell me what you guys wrote, or if you missed it, tell me what you would have picked. And that's it. Godsmack news. This is episode 34, Rocking the Core. I know last week I called it Rocking the Troops, and I've heard that somewhere, but I could have swore that was the name of this DVD. Um, I did have this DVD. I can't find it now, of course, and I've looked all over the place. But I did rewatch it yesterday on YouTube. Sorry, my camera's falling down. On YouTube, I'll post the link on the comment section so you can click the link and watch it yourselves. A little bit of info about this. It was recorded in 2005. The concert was a show to thank the U.S. Marines who were returning home from the war in Iraq. The attendance was around 44,000 people. The movie premiered June the 26th in Washington, D.C. I didn't know that part until I did some research for this episode. Then on the 27th of June, it was released in 75 markets, 150 movie screens. The actual DVD was released September the 6th, 2005. The artists and bands that are on this show is Godsmack, of course, Uncle Ted Nugent, Richie Sambora, who was still in Bon Jovi at that time, Hootie and the Blowfish, Destiny's Child, and the headlining act was Kiss. Um, yeah, I thought this was a great lineup. I really enjoyed rewatching this show. I haven't watched it in years. So yeah, it was really kind of cool. Uh, yeah, all great bands. Destiny's Child's not really my cup of tea, but it is what it is. So it was kind of a everything for everybody kind of thing. So you kind of, if you wanted a little harder rock with Godsmack, you got that. You want two legends and Kiss and Ted Nugent. There you go. Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi outsold as far as album sales and concert tickets and all that stuff. Outsold all these artists actually. Uh, a little more modern rock was Hootie and the Blowfish. A little bit of pop with Destiny's Child. So yeah, it was kind of a great diversity kind of show. So, with that being said, let's talk about the show itself. There's my notes. It starts off with the Star Spangled Banner being played by Ted Nugent. Then there's some comedy routine by the late Louis Anderson. Then Godsmack takes the stage. Now, I made a little bit of a side note on this because I don't really remember seeing it before, but I really noticed it this time. Shannon's drum kit for this show is actually red, white, and blue. It has a lot of the American flag on it. Uh, so yeah, it was really cool. Just check this part out, and you don't have to watch the rest of the show. Just check out the drum kit. So they kick off with a wake. Amazing performance as always, just great. Then there's some behind the scenes after this song. Uh, the band doing kind of sound check and stuff like that. Shannon actually talks about the drum kit, says that this is the one and only show that he will use this drum kit. I'd like to ask Shannon, does he still have this drum kit? I almost have a feeling it's at Godsmack headquarters. If I would take a wild guess. Uh, then they go right back to the show. It goes into whatever. Insane performance, great crowd reaction. It was really great. Then they go into I Stand Alone. Absolutely awesome. Crowd singing along, pyro. It was great. Absolutely great. Uh, then Ted Nugent takes the stage as Godsmack is the backup band, which was really cool to see because you don't really get to see this a lot. He launches right into the classic Cat Scratch Fever. Uh, awesome song. I love this song still to this day. Still love that song. Then another kind of behind the scenes kind of thing shows Godsmack Ted Nugent meeting the soldiers, actually shooting some rifles. There's a kind of funny part where Sully looks into the camera as Ted Nugent's shooting. He goes, "That's Uncle Ted," and yeah, so that was really cool. Then we go back to the show. Stranglehold is the next song Ted does. Great song again. I like this one a lot as well. You could tell watching Godsmack play with him that they were just absolutely loving it. The smiles on their faces, we're backing up Ted Nugent. How cool is this? So yeah, so that's the part that I kind of stopped taking notes as far as details go, uh, because that's the part of the Godsmack. Then Richie Sambora uh, comes up on stage. His set was really good. I really enjoyed this. Being a Bon Jovi fan as well, being his solo artist as well. I love Richie Sambora. One of the most underrated, I think, guitar players, songwriters, singers. Uh, but he did an acoustic set along with Hugh McDonald, who is the bass player in Bon Jovi now. So yeah, so you get a little bit of two people from Bon Jovi on stage, plus some other artists. Uh, he does "Living on a Prayer," "It's My Life," and of course he ends it with "Wanted Dead or Alive," which is the Bon Jovi national anthem. I love that song. I still do love that song. Richie's performance was absolutely awesome. Again, check that part out. Richie Sambora is awesome. A little rant here. So I know this is Godsmack podcast, but I think I need to speak on this. The last few days this week, Richie Sambora's been in the news, saying that he and John Bon Jovi have been talking about doing a reunion, possibly making new music, and especially a tour. Uh, I think that's fantastic. I think they need to make this happen. I've said it for years. Uh, although I still support Bon Jovi the way they are, but to me, in my heart, it's not really Bon Jovi unless it's Richie and John. It's kind of like Aerosmith with no Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, or no, it's not really Rolling Stones if you don't have Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. They're kind of like that, or it's not really the Beatles if it's not John and Paul. But yeah, so there's that rant. So there you go. Now I'm done. Back to the show. Uh, Hootie and the Blowfish is next. They play their three hit songs, Only Wanna Be With You, which I think is still a great song. I know they're a little more lighter rock, but great song is a great song. Then they go into Time, and then Hold My Hand, and then Destiny's Child hits the stage. Again, not really my cup of tea here, but I did write down the songs that they did. Soldier, Crazy in Love, and Survivor. Again, not really my cup of tea, so it's not really anything that I listen to. And then Kiss takes the stage, as like I said, they were the headliners of this. They opened up with Detroit Rock City, Love Gun, and of course ended it with Rock and Roll All Night. Absolutely fantastic. Can't go wrong with that, especially now with Kiss and makeup and the pyro and all that stuff. It's great to see. All right. So homework this week. Do you have this DVD? Have you seen this show? Write me a comment down below, and I want to see you guys do your homework. Next week's show is episode 35. It's going to be ranking the DVDs. Now, I was going to wait and post a new episode next Friday. Why? Because next Friday is the album release of Lighting Up the Sky, February 24th. So I thought about doing that, and then I thought, well, let me stay with what I'm doing, and that is episode 35's ranking the DVDs. Plus, I want to listen to this album all the way through a lot of times before I start making notes and picking my favorites off the album. And so, yeah, I kind of want to live with this album for a little bit before I do an episode on it. So that's in 2 weeks. So, yeah, episode 35, rank the DVDs. Episode 36 will be Lighting Up the Sky. And that's it for this week. It's kind of a short episode. If you know anybody that's a Godsmack fan, likes to talk about Godsmack, hear about Godsmack, send them this way. Give them the link. Tell them to go on Google, Firefox, YouTube. Type in Smack This, the Unofficial. All the episodes will pop up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. That helps out the podcast. And that's it for this week. And you just got smacked.